This morning, our Executive Director of Caldwell County Home Health, RN Marcy Nix. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well.
So nice to have you here.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It has. It has.
Well, we just are certainly happy that you're here. Want to update everybody what's going on out at Home Health, Caldwell County Home Health. Recently, you all were awarded something.
We were recognized with Home Care Elite as one of the top 500 agencies in the United States, which is a great honor.
Yes.
And also we are a 5-star agency, which is how CMS, Medicare, looks at agencies, and based on our outcomes, patient outcomes, we are a 5-star, which is the highest rating you can get, which is a great honor.
That is a great honor. How many counties does Caldwell County Home Health serve?
We service Caldwell, Lyon, and Trigg.
Okay, so 3 counties.
3 counties.
And you've been several years now out there.
I've been there since 1997.
Wow.
That's a couple, yeah.
I started out as a field nurse and have moved my way up, and so now I'm the executive director.
Well, I will tell you, I got a little story for you. A few years back, Elijah, of course, he has special needs. My son's got special needs. He spilled some mac and cheese on himself. And of course, if you know my kid and mac and cheese, that's his jam now. So I mean, he's not always careful with it, and he spilled some up, burned his arm. Bless his heart, he's not one that will sit still for anybody except for Dr. Littlejohn for whatever reason. You guys come out every day and checked on him, and he loved it.
Yeah.
He responded so well, and the ladies were so patient with him. And I'll tell you, that was a load off of our mind, not having to drag him in and out of the weather with, a burn on his arm and that sort of thing. And which doesn't seem like much, but when a kid's got special needs, everything has 10 extra steps in what it normally does.
Absolutely.
And you all were not only prepared, but you were very patient with him. You were very attentive, and it was a really great experience for him.
It's a great service. I think a lot of people don't realize what all we can do. We have a full service. We do physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We have nursing staff. And I'll say I have a great staff. They all they want to take care of the patients like they would want their family taken care of, and that's important to us. We can do anything. We've done chemo in the home. I think the only thing basically we can't do is give blood in the home.
Well, I think a lot of times that's the difference between someone being placed in a nursing home and being able to recuperate at home is the nurse that comes out and helps out.
It is. There are so many things that we can do to keep them in their home longer, and that's what we're there for. We do a lot of people who have had joint replacements. We do therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy. They come out, and it's in your home. And then what our goal is to get you to where you can go to outpatient. But it's just kind of that little extra after the hospital. So we kind of it makes a big difference. You're not up to getting out to outpatient. So we're that stepping stone
kind
in
of like
the middle.
A bridge,
exactly.
Isn't it? And is all your patients, are they referred by their family physician or a doctor?
Yes, we get referrals from hospitals. We get physicians, and it doesn't have to be just local physicians. It can be a physician, in Nashville. It can be Evansville, anywhere that physician is willing to sign your orders and give us a plan of care. That's all we need.
Now, is there an age to this? What are the ages?
No, we can do anywhere from birth to death.
Well, and see, I think that's good too, because a lot of times there may not be a second person there, or maybe that person has to go to work. There's that checks and balances, I guess, is a good way to put it. That home health really and truly, makes sure that patient is getting what they need, and keeps them. Really and truly, a lot of times they don't feel like getting in and out,
right.
And it's not good for them.
Right, and there are limits with Medicare, any insurance. You have limits to what you can do, but we are there to take care of the patient and to see what needs. And we do a lot of teaching. We teach family members how to do wound care, IVs, different things. So teaching is a lot of what we do.
Nursing is a holistic approach to a patient. I mean, it's all about their mental aspect may not be their
Absolutely.
room. So, what I think is very interesting about home health is that all nurses are special. Don't get me wrong, and I know that firsthand.
Absolutely.
But there is something a little extra, I think, that home health nurse brings to someone who, say, is having to bridge into outpatient therapy or could be in hospice or certain things. There's a comfort level, and it might not be you treating their wound, but you're treating their person.
You treat the whole family.
Yes, and the
that is
person.
the one thing with home health, and I've said it from the time I walked through the door. It's a special calling. Not everybody can do it, but you get to know the whole family. You get to know that patient one-on-one. They're more open to talk to you in the home. They will tell you things a lot of times that they don't talk to the doctor about. So we are kind of that relay system as well with the physician.
I think sometimes, I want all of my family to turn off the radio right now. Sometimes your family's ornery, and they, not that mine is, but I'm just saying, sometimes a home health nurse can get more of them, get more out of them.
You're right.
And sometimes they're more calm with a nurse than they would be with you.
I'm
not grouchy at all when I don't feel good. But
And that's right. A lot of times, the person that's the closest to you is the
Right.
one that takes the brunt of it.
Right.
They kind of, so we're kind of the middle person that we can kind of say, hey, this is kind of what we need to do,
well, that way the other person, can go to the store and
Absolutely.
do
It's
a
a
few
break.
things like that they need to do.
Yeah, it's a break. It's a break. It's just providing that extra level of care.
You mentioned the I word a minute ago, insurance.
Oh.
So tell us a little bit about that and how that works in as far as home health is concerned, and some of the issues that we might have in billing, and then some maybe possibilities if there is an issue
Right.
with insurance.
With Medicare we accept, and there's no copayment. With Medicare Advantage plans, this is my opinion, my personal opinion. Medicare Advantage plans can save you money, or that's the way they say, because you have copays, you have, percentages that you have to do, and they also limit your visits. So that's one of those things that we do have a lot. We work with a lot. This area, there is a lot of Medicare Advantage plans. We put those in, we run them to see what their insurance will let us do. So sometimes they will limit us on the number of visits, and then they want you to go ahead and go to outpatient or whatever. We do
What about
commercial.
military?
We do military. We do TRICARE, TriWest, those kind of things. Medicaid is something that we don't do a lot of. We don't have the contracts and stuff. So that is one area that is
A little limited.
It is very limited. There's not a lot in this area that does a lot of Medicaid.
Now the prescriptions, they kind of have the patient has with between them and their doctor. Now you guys aren't writing prescriptions or anything like
No,
that.
no.
You're there to administer whatever the doctor gives to the patient.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
I wanted to clarify that,
No,
too.
we do not do anything with medications, anything like that. That all comes from your physician. If they say you need IV antibiotics for 7 weeks, what they will do is that physician will contact the IV company. They will set it up. They will coordinate with us, and then we coordinate our visits.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to clarify that to make
Yeah.
sure people know you're not traveling doctors.
We're not a one-stop shop.
No. What are some of the issues that we might have as far as, is there anything in particular you can think of that causes stumbling or stepping stones to get your kind of service? Is there anything we could do maybe on the front end?
One of the things is now Medicare has a requirement that's called a face-to-face. We have to have a face-to-face visit with the physician, the patient does. So if you are needing services, it's best to go ahead, make an appointment with your physician, talk with him about it, and then that way that face-to-face visit is met on the start. That's something that Medicare put in place several years ago.
That's kind of new, isn't it?
It's been several years ago, and it's something that it affects how fast we can get out there, because we need to have that met. So
Well, I know in many times your home health nurse is your advocate as well.
Absolutely.
You know, there's sometimes when they can advocate for you and say, look, this person can't wait 2 weeks for an appointment. You need to see them now. And sometimes, and I've seen that personally, where that nurse can actually get that and make that happen because they can say, look, it's a lot more dire than what what you may think.
You're right. We have that communication with the physicians. We can call in, we can talk to the nurse. Sometimes we get the physician. They'll get on the phone and want to know what's going on. So we have that input. It makes it a little easier,
Right.
For the patient. Something that they're not having to do.
Well, and I'll tell you that can mean a lot when you're that patient that's at home, or I not too long ago a friend of ours who was elderly, she really couldn't get out. Mobility was just all but not there, and one of the things that meant a lot to her was that advocate that could call the doctor and call them and say, look, she really needs to see you. Or, hey, let's arrange transportation for her to come and see you. A lot of those things, that meant huge to her.
Right. One of the things that we have, too, is we have a nurse on call 24/7. So if our patients, in the middle of the night, if they need something, they're having issues, then they can contact our number. It goes to an on-call person. They send it directly to the nurse on call, and she's going to contact them. We can go out, we can do visits. I mean, we've been out many wee hours of the morning.
It's a 24-hour job.
Absolutely.
How many folks in your 3-county service area are you servicing right now?
Right now, we have about 130.
Wow.
We like to stay up around 150.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this weather has affected some of our admissions. I think a lot of people have been more out since it's 70 degrees and not having those elective procedures done that we usually get a lot of therapy.
Right.
So we've kind of dropped a little bit, but
But your wheelhouse is about 150.
Right, it's about 150.
Well, and I want to get that stigma out of there too, because a lot of people are scared, especially when you get older. A lot of them are scared to death for the doctor to say, well, the home health nurse is going to come out and see you. They're like, oh, no, it's not that kind of, no, these are the nurses that want you to get well. This is
that's our goal.
This is not the bad news nurses. This is the good news nurses.
That's right. That's our goal, is to get them to be able to safely stay in their home, as long as they can.
Many services, many wonderful services, many local friendly faces out there serving 3 counties. And then that's Caldwell, Lyon, and Trigg counties.
Absolutely.
That Caldwell County. Any changes? Anything upcoming in this year that you foresee with the Caldwell County Home Health? Anything legislative wise or anything?
Right now, no. We have had a new payment system, like the biggest CMS change in 20 years, that's going on right now, called PDGM. So we're working through that. We have processes. It just kind of works with what's best for the patient.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the new thing that we're working on right now.
Okay. And of course, if we have need services, of course, our family physician or admitting hospital, but if we have questions concerning your services or anything that you all do out at Caldwell County Home Health,
feel free to call us.
Okay.
Number's 270-365-2011, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you have.
That's fantastic. Well, you all do incredible work. Of course, you and I go way back as high school classmates, but you always seem to kind of have that passion for helping others. So quickly before you leave, I just want to hear your story of when it hit you as to, this is what I want to do for a living. This is my passion.
Well, it seems like she's going to stay with it now, Ty.
I'd say after 27 years.
I would say she's probably made a choice.
I don't know that there's anything else I can do. So
yeah,
but yeah, I've started into nursing in '94, and I was in the hospital, and then just thought, I'm gonna try something different, and went to home health, and
there you are.
From day one,
you're there.
I've been there. Yeah, it's a great service, and it's a very rewarding
Well, we're glad that you chose that. I can tell you that.
Thank you.
There's a lot of people in the area that'll say the same thing.
No doubt about it. All right, Caldwell County Home Health Executive Director Marcy Nix, RN out there, and we certainly appreciate what you do and all of your staff in servicing your 3-county area of Caldwell, Lyon, and Trigg counties. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Marcy. Hey, it's Tess and Ty, and stick around. You know, we talked and teased a little bit about this weather and trying to make sense of it. God bless him. David Powell is going to try to lead me in the correct direction and let me know what in the world is going on with January. That's coming up next, 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Imagine this. It's late at night, it's cold and dark, and you have a flat tire. One never knows when old Bessie's gonna cause you problems. There's only one place to call, Wallace Towing and Recovery in Princeton. Wallace Towing and Recovery is a 24/7 towing and recovery service. You can count on Wallace Towing and Recovery to get you safe and back on the road or to a repair shop. Wallace Towing and Recovery will jumpstart your vehicle, change a tire, deliver gas, unlock a door, or haul it to the garage or scrapyard. Wallace Towing and Recovery has you covered in Princeton and surrounding areas. Call Wallace Towing and Recovery. Check them out on Facebook, and when you need a tow or roadside help, call Wallace Towing and Recovery at 270-963-9081.
Shop local, buy local, save big deals.
Imagine if there were a place you could go to buy gift certificates to some of the best businesses in town. Now, imagine all those great gift certificates priced 30, 35, 40%, and at times over 60% or more off retail every day of the week. The Loyal Listener Big Deal Store is online and waiting for you to shop and buy gift certificates to local businesses. Go to WPKYonline.com.
Hey guys, Heidi with Capitol Cinemas, your local Princeton movie theater with your weekday lineup. In Cinema 1, Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, PG-13, shows Monday through Thursday at 6:30. In Cinema 2, Jumanji Next Level, PG-13, shows Monday through Thursday at 6:30. In Cinema 3, Spies in Disguise,
David,
PG, shows Monday through Thursday at 6:30. Call during showtime hours at 270-365-0200 or visit us at capitalcinemas.net. Thanks for listening. See you at the show.
This is what Kentucky basketball sounds like.
The greatest tradition in the history of college basketball.
The road to number 9 lives here.
The Cats and the Gamecocks. Airtime this afternoon at 4.
106.5 WKDZ. And worldwide at WKDZradio.com.
There's an advantage in being the home team. You know who Emma Talley, Jake Lewis, and Pat Gates are. You've seen the wall around Butler Stadium and have heard of the Caldwell Crazies. Trice Hughes, we're your home team. Here's our home team deal of the week.
The 2016 Toyota Tacoma Off-Road 4x4. One owner, NADA retail $31,150. Trice price $29,500.
Get this home team deal of the week at Trice Hughes. Find us on Highway 91 North, Princeton, or TriceHughes.com.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
1580 103.3 WPKY. Tess and Ty, and we're hoping, crossing our fingers. Are you there, David Powell? Hello? David, are you with us? No? Okay, well, we're going to try him again in just a minute. When trying to make sense of all the weather and all the weather situations, I think that trying to get it all cleared out, one of the ways, and one of the things we want to talk to David about this morning is Code Red.
Yeah.
Because that is a system that is very important. And it's one of those early detection systems. And don't get me wrong, I could quote the movie Twister all day long. But early detection really and truly can save just as many lives as just about anything else. is letting people know so that they can get to cover.
A lot of sources, now the Code Red is wonderful. If there is a warning in your county, Audrey had a great story on the news with Joy McCaslin, Emergency Management Director here in Caldwell County, about Code Red, how you can do it. And it is only issued in your county if there is a weather warning, not a watch, but mainly a warning. But you can do that via the phone line, cell phone, email, text, all kinds of ways to get that warning. But it gives you early detection. As soon as the National Weather Service issues a warning for your county, it's right there as a Code Red. And Joey in the story acted like it really did a great job Saturday morning when our severe weather moved through in the early hours.
Right.
So that's a great system. And you can if you're not enrolled in that, we can get you information on how you can enroll into that Code Red, because that will come through your phone or however you decide to initiate that. And of course there were some small tornadoes that were the National Weather Service survey teams went out into Trigg County and in Christian County. They're currently surveying Lyon, Caldwell, and Henderson counties where some of the storm damage took place last Saturday. So very, very, very beneficial to have that Code Red access for you and your family. Of course, I love the old weather radio. I keep one of those in my house. That's a great way as well. And of course, several media outlets, you can get those weather alerts on your cell phone as well. So many, many ways to get those weather alerts.
Well, and I'll tell you, I've got a weather radio at the house. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things that I didn't think I needed until I had, and now I don't want to go without. But I also love to have the Code Red because I get those whether I'm sitting at the house or not.
Yeah.
And I love that because if we're sitting out at the football field, if we're hanging out at the ballpark, I mean, all of us are up and down the road all the time now. And that way, it's kind of like taking your weather radio with you. And don't get me wrong, I love that weather radio because, I mean, it'll wake you up no matter what. I mean, and I'm hard to wake up sometimes.
And there are parameters within Code Red that you can set for all kinds of warnings. And if you have location services on your phone, I was out of state one time and was in the middle of something, and I was getting Code Reds for that.
Well, it determines where you are, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because
you got location
it watches.
Services.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, if you happen to be, you say, well, Caldwell County weather is not, it's not nothing to me tonight because I'm on the other side of Lyon County. Well, that's okay. If you're at a ball game, you're traveling to Marshall for a ball game, you know what? Your phone knows that on your GPS, and it will follow you and know where you're.
If you have your location services
in a
on.
good way. But it kind of keeps up with you. That way you can get the weather alerts where you are. And I think that's pretty neat. It's one of those things that if you know that there's a storm coming, to get the kids off the hiking trail and get them back in the vehicle and let's get out of there. But there's a lot of situations where that early warning detection can really make a huge difference. Being out on the lake, I think, was one of the things that David and I have talked about before is those, poor people that get stuck out on the lake in some of these big storms when some of these, straight line winds and that sort of thing come by. And again, that early warning, and if you say, where I'm at, flood watches, I really don't want to know about that. That's okay. Because you can select that or deselect that either way. It's really customizable, and it's I'll tell you, I don't want to live without it, especially with my kids. And it's just one of those things that, again, I thought was superfluous that ended up being, just for me anyway, a necessity. My whole family loves it. And I've actually helped my mom and dad get it on their phone as well. So, I mean, it's easy enough to use that you can put it on the grandparents' phone. And by the way, if you haven't done that, go do that for them. Make sure, Grandma and Grandpa have got that on their phone too. Because these days you're not necessarily watching a local channel on TV. You may not necessarily see that. But there's all sorts of warnings that'll come over this thing that when you need to know about stuff. So, I mean, it's just a really good system that I really kind of believe in. And I don't work for the company. I don't work for Code Red. I'm not getting anything out of it. I'm just saying it is a peace of mind that you have, because a lot of these bad storms, the brunt of them, it seems, comes in the middle of the night when you're sleeping. And man, if you could have just had enough time or something that would have woke you up and gotten you in the basement ahead of time. You know, how many people have said that? And this thing actually will, and it does, and quite well.
You can go to
you
can go to caldwellcounty.ky.gov. That's our county website. You can scroll down to the bottom, and you can sign up for Code Red weather warnings. There's a register for emergency notifications right there. It'll walk you right through it. If you don't feel like you're that computer savvy or might have some trouble, then get somebody that you feel like that can help you through it. It's really not that hard of a thing to do.
By the way, did you know we have a county website?
Sure.
And it's quite nice. I want to make sure everybody knows that, though.
Yeah.
Because for a little while, there were a lot of problems on that website. You would go to it, and the links weren't taking you places. And I actually talked to a couple of them and said, hey, what's up with this website? It's one of those, but it's working great right now. It really is. They've really done a lot of work to that. They went out and actually took some courses, and there were people that put a lot of hours in on that website in the last year, and spearheaded that and worked very hard to make that website work, and it does now. And that is such a convenience to have, especially for things like this. Jeff Sims was a part of that too, and I think that that's one of those things that I don't think we've patted them on the back enough for that, because that website really and truly is, I think, going to become more and more handy as time goes on.
Yeah, it's great to have a website. Of course, it's a ky.gov site, and again, easy enough to get on there and sign up for Code Red via your cell phone or your laptop, your PC. Just walk yourself right through it. It's a pretty easy setup. And it's very beneficial for you, your family, when you're out and about.
It's available, it's there,
minutes,
and it's not going to cost you anything but a few minutes out of your time. And that, hey, you can't ask for more than that. If it's free and it's going to save you in the long run, and you can't ask for more than that.
No.
So thanks very much to the powers that be that make that available to us. We sure do appreciate it.
No doubt.
And if you're looking for what day you could possibly fit in something, doggone it, I wish we could. Anyway, what you can look forward to on your forecast, and I don't have him on the phone as I promised, but what I can tell you is this is what he said about it yesterday. How about that? I do have a written version of what he was about to tell you. Once the front gets through today, the skies are supposed to clear. Temps should somewhat be cooler through Thursday. Highs in the 30s to lower 40s. Now, keep in mind, by Friday, maybe even late Thursday night, another really strong, potent storm system arrives in the region with more precipitation. Now, David is saying that if X aligns with Y, looks like we could have a mix of wintry precipitation, and if it will stay cold enough. But again, as in all wintry weather, Ty, it's going to be, which way does it go and how close does it get, and is the temp going to be 32 or 34 or 30, or, it depends on a lot of very close variables right in there. But it does look like it's going to feel a whole lot more like January over the weekend anyway. I mean, you're looking at that cold snap low around 23 on Saturday night, and then on Sunday night, your low of 17. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the high of 31. That feels a lot more like winter, don't you think?
It does, and of course, I don't know. Hope many people were listening Saturday morning as we broke in for live weather coverage. So be sure you can always tune in here to WPKY and tune in to our fantastic weather coverage. And if we have breaking weather news that you need to know about, we have a weather text. You can text pictures, you can text damage, you can text anything to 522-1212, and our weather team will get on that as well. And of course, you can tune in for live breaking weather coverage anytime that you need to here on WPKY. And so keep that in mind. If we do have winter weather